Hi, it's Tisha Powell. You're watching US Business News. Coming up on today's Money News, BlackRock went bullish on Bitcoin. A bank in England predicted Bitcoin to hit over 120,000 in 2024. Let's go examine the chart to see if Bitcoin is going to get there. I'm Tisha Powell. We'll be back with more right after this intro. Hi, it's Tisha Powell, and I just want to have a disclaimer. Even though I have been investing for 30 years, it doesn't mean everything I say on the show means it's going to happen to you, because circumstances change. So use this for educational purposes. You've got to do your own due diligence. So I just wanted to go over what Bitcoin is doing. BlackRock, which is the largest asset management in the world, they were valued about $4 trillion in June of 2020. They're valued $4 trillion last year, sometime 2022. They are bullish on Bitcoin. Robert Kennedy is running for president of the United States. He's going up against Biden, and Kennedy has Bitcoin as well. So even politicians have Bitcoin. And a disclaimer, I too have Bitcoin. And Bitcoin, I'm bullish on Bitcoin. BlackRock is bullish on Bitcoin. There's a bank in the UK that just went bullish on Bitcoin. In fact, that bank is saying Bitcoin is going to be going to 120,000. Why would BlackRock from Wall Street be so bullish on Bitcoin? Well, if you know about trading, you understand resistance and support. And it's very, very, very simple. I've been doing it for 30 years. It's not very difficult to figure out. All right? Just understand support is the bottom, resistance is the top. So if you look at the graph, you can see on Bitcoin, there's some resistance and support. I love charting Bitcoin because it's the easiest one to do, because it's very, very new. So you don't have to look back 20 years. All you're doing is looking back since 2017. So this is classic. And why I like Bitcoin as well is because it hedges against the US dollar. 2020, as you know, a lot of hedge funds, they left and went and bought real estate. And as you know, that they did that because the US dollar was dying. So if you see the graph of the US dollar, you'll see that it's at something like $3 now. So you can chart anything if you know charting. In fact, we charted the real estate market in 2020. So did the hedge funds. So we bought up a lot of real estate in 2020 in America, because if you charted it, you would see where it is. So that's why I like to do the charting. So there's a resistance and support. All you need to know, support is the bottom, resistance is the top. Everybody has a resistance and support. I like to say my resistance and support is I cannot go below 125 pounds. Every time I try to go lower, there is a resistance there. So it's just the law of nature. I tell people math is perfect. So if we know that BlackRock is bullish, the charts are showing Bitcoin up, and banks are confirming Bitcoin is going up, why aren't we throwing our house into it? 4 things. Nature, act of God. You cannot tell me when nature is going to strike again. The market moves by fear and greed. So there you have it, nature. Government interference. You see with XRP, it didn't matter what you graphed, government sued, and it changes things. So that's why you can never ever bet 100% on any asset, because you've got to diverse, because there's 4 things outside of your control: nature, government, people's fear, and people's greed. Also, you've got to watch your fear and your greed. I love to tell people for 30 years I've been trading. I've done the stock market, I've done crypto, I've done real estate. I mean, I've traded a lot of asset class, and it is going to humble you. That's all I can tell you. Humble yourself. You're going to have losses. You're going to have losses. I've never met someone who didn't have a loss. So that's why you don't put 100% in, because it's very reckless. That's called gambling. Oh, but BlackRock is buying it. BlackRock has $4 trillion. They can afford to lose a couple trillion. We can't. Okay? So what is giving Bitcoin so much momentum? Well, number one, the dollar is dying. Bitcoin is hedging against the dollar. Number two, digital wallets. You can get Bitcoin on a digital wallet. PayPal has them now. People are just buying, and you can buy it in increments. $500. I got in at 500 at 24,000. You know that we buy bits of Bitcoin, and you can use it on the internet. So you could trade. There are 2 billion people on the internet. After 2020, 2 billion people started to just trade on the internet. That's why the United States is creating its own digital dollar, is to get in on the game. 2 billion people are on YouTube every day. You've got another 2 billion on Google every day. Then there's apps. You've got TikTok. You've got, 2 billionaires are fighting over digital asset. Digital asset is not only Bitcoin. Digital asset is YouTube channels. Digital asset is social media. Why do you think the commercial real estate is dead? The money is going into digital asset. It's going into Bitcoin. It's going into crypto. It's going into YouTube channels. It's going into social media profiles. People are opening up TikTok shops, Amazon. People have Amazon stores. We're in a digital area. I'm a digital journalist. I used to be in the city in New York on Fox or Newsmax. Now I'm on YouTube at my home on the internet. Digital journalism. I can be on Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. I can Google stuff. It is incredible. That's why the United States government has proposed a digital dollar, because 2 billion people are trading on the internet and they want to be a piece of that action. If you see the YouTube channels, all it talks about is making money online. The young generation, they don't even know what cash look like. Baby boom Bitcoin, that's the generation I call them. They are the baby boom Bitcoin, and they call baby boom Bitcoin the new Benjamin. So they don't call the US dollar Benjamin anymore. They call Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is a cryptocurrency. It's a digital asset valued at $1 trillion. So that's why we do not ignore $1 trillion. That's a lot of money for us. So when people say to me, oh, why are you covering Bitcoin? Because Bitcoin is the future. Bitcoin, we're going cashless. We're in a digital era, digital century. My kids grew up on YouTube. That's the way, that's the future now. So that's why you want to know the resistance and support of Bitcoin. By the way, the support 15 and the resistance is 69. So why is it that they're predicting that it's going to hit over 120? Momentum. SEC versus Coinbase. Bitcoin was not sued. 130, government proposed its own digital dollars, digital currency. That is digital space, crypto. We're in a digital area that 130 government has proposed their own one. The United States government, the second largest government in the world, has created Fed Digital. What do you think is it? The internet. They're all coming on the internet. The internet is an ecosystem. MasterCard and Visa card cannot reach where Bitcoin can reach. YouTube has its own ETF. Banks all over the world, they're backing blockchain. They say follow the money. The banks are in on the crypto. So why shouldn't you be on Bitcoin? Now there are 23,000 cryptos. I would not trade all 23,000 because some are just hype. There cannot be 23,000 cryptos that are all legit. So that's why people said, oh, I want you to just analyze all 23,000. Impossible. Some have no value. Some are just hype. I like to stick to the big one, Bitcoin. That's enough crypto for me. Bitcoin because it has blockchain, and also it was not sued by the SEC versus Coinbase. XRP was sued. XRP is a legitimate company. So XRP probably is going to come out of this one. But you should not be speculating on XRP based upon a litigation. That is carelessness, because the candlesticks cannot predict litigation, nor can a lawyer. Okay? So it doesn't matter which lawyer is saying to you, oh, this. You just listen to the stories, because a judge can rule anyway. Yes, there's a likelihood that XRP and Ripple will come out ahead, because 4 other cryptos did come out ahead. And also too, it's a natural ecosystem. There are 2 billion people on the internet, and they really do need help. They need blockchains and crypto, and they need digital currency. And so how can a digital currency be a security? And this is the biggest issue I'm having with the SEC versus Coinbase, Banaka, and Ripple and XRP. If you're saying that all cryptos are security, why does the government have its own digital currency? So then why isn't the government, registering itself? That's the thing. That's the issue I have. And all cryptos cannot be security. So it's too broad. It's just way too broad. And unfortunately, I don't think that one generation in the United States is in touch with the other generation. There's a lot of political divideness in this country. And because of that, there are some people in the United States, they are trading with crypto, they're buying stuff with crypto. And then there's another generation that don't even know crypto exists. And SEC versus Coinbase, Banaka, and XRP Ripple, it would be really nice if somebody could just educate the SEC on crypto. Crypto belongs in tech space, all right? It doesn't belong in security. It's all a tech market. But we know the SEC loves Wall Street. It doesn't really like tech. So that's it. Litigations, it's lawyers in America. They've got to litigate something. So, and yes, they can afford to litigate all the cases because they have a lot of money, but it's really sad for investors who actually put money in Ripple and XRP. You know how hard it is to work in America 70 hours a week and try to invest and then to lose it to a litigation. I'm Tisha Powell. Subscribe for more.